Hi everyone! Today we're going to make sourdough. I know sourdough is like a really in fashion bread now. Everyone's making sourdough. Why I'm making sourdough? Like it's so hot here, and you know what? I'm sure. Oh, that's Maya. Say hi, Maya.
Hi.
So I'm sure everyone's gonna be like, oh, look what she's wearing, and she's not tying her hair up. You know what? So, what was I saying? Yeah, when I started to learn how to make bread, I started with sourdough. And what I'm going to teach you today is I'm going to minimize all the unnecessary process, debunk the scary part to it, if you will. And yes, I'm sweating because yes, we are in Malaysia, and yes, it's freaking hot. Now, Maya, please sit, please, darling. Okay, so my friend Daniel wanted some sourdough. Now, what essentially is sourdough? It's all about what's in here. I'm gonna move the camera so you can see. This, my friend,
Hello. Oh. Hello.
is the starter. And starter basically means it's live yeast. It is. It's grown. I've grown this for more than a year. And I keep feeding it, so it is alive. Unlike the instant yeast, which, by the way, in this recipe, you see, I cheat a bit, just because I want my bread to be perfect. I add a bit of instant yeast. You don't have to, you know. I know some sourdough groups, and they're like, oh, this and that, and I also have a recipe to teach you how to make this. We'll do that in another video. All I'm trying to say is today we're going to make sourdough. Really easy, really simple. The tutorial on how to make this, I can, if you guys want, I will show you how to make it later. Please excuse that. Maya, you can sit here.
Oh, Daddy said.
But I don't want any whining people are watching.
But Daddy said, Mommy's making a video.
We have to bear with that, okay? I am making a video. You can sit. Okay. So in here we have 5. Let's get started before this turns into a zoo. This is 500 grams of flour. You can use any flour that you want. Rye flour, bread flour. But obviously the more dense the flour, the more dense your bread is going to be. So I just use all-purpose flour for now. Yeah. My sourdough, however, is grown with only organic rye flour. Again, don't be scared about all this. I'll teach you everything that you need to know in a while. But first, let's make the bread for Daniel. So in 500 grams, I'm going to put 1.5 teaspoons of salt.
Can I also help you with something?
You can help me knead the dough in a while, honey. Okay? And it's going to be a messy one because it's a sticky dough. Now, to that, we are going to add 450 milliliters of just room temperature water. And Maya, if you go wash your hands, you can help me knead some bread. Okay? Kids love doing this. So I'm just gonna mix it. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. So I'm just mixing it. Don't worry, it'll come out on the table soon. Nicely. She's gonna wash her hands so she can help me. So I'm just mixing it. Mix, just keep mixing it. Sorry, I am getting distracted a bit because my bambino is bored naturally from the lockdown. She doesn't have school to go to, and okay, so you see this? And what Maya is gonna help me do, Maya. Okay, we're gonna pour in some sourdough. Now, some people will say you need. Come. Okay, you're gonna help mommy take out 4 scoops. Basically, it's about 250 grams.
Of this?
Yes. So you take 4 scoops from mommy and put it in here.
Big?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yes. 1.
The whole thing?
Yes, Maya. Don't wiggle it.
Sorry.
2. Let's go. 2. Let me see. Okay?
Not 3.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's okay. 3. And 1 more, please. Maybe a half more. Don't wiggle it, baby.
Like this?
Yeah. If I lose my top and end up murdering this one, please excuse me. There you go. Thank you. And now you can cover the starter bag with the green.
Like this one?
Yes,
Like this?
that's right. Pop it in. Thank you. Good job.
Hi guys.
So then what we're going to do, move this away. Careful, don't fall down, yeah? And we're just going to incorporate everything. Okay. It's messy. Just keep... I'll put it out on the table soon.
Like this.
It is a very sticky dough. Now, like I said, I'm going to cheat a bit just because I want my bread to be perfect, and because, let me get my yeast. Because sourdough yeast is alive, and the whole idea of having yeast is to rise your bread.
Drink some water.
In the case of sourdough bread, it's mainly also for flavor. Alan, Maya needs some water. Could you help her? It's also for flavor, but sometimes temperamental, like us, it's a living thing. It doesn't rise as much as I would like it to. So I'm just gonna add like a teaspoon of instant yeast. No, big no in the sourdough community. What is she doing? Don't care. What I care about is that at the end, my bread is gonna taste good, right?
Hi guys.
Now, what I see here is my dough is a little bit too wet. A little bit too wet. That could be because it's just a bit too much sourdough. So we're gonna add some flour.
Can I add?
No, I'm just gonna put some flour in.
Like that?
And I'm putting about 1.5 cups. So, meaning this recipe now, it's about 600 grams of flour, 450 water, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, Maya. Okay, and about 200 grams of sourdough. Now it's coming into shape.
Can I put some?
Later, I'm going to show you how Maya's really good at kneading bread.
Yes, I am so good at kneading bread.
Alan, could you help me? Because you might fall.
First, my mom's dough has dots, but then when I'm kneading it a while, like then the dots go away.
What dots, darling?
Like remember when you make the dough, the bread dough, then there were like some dots on it.
Bubbles. Okay. So what's going to happen now?
Then-
Now you just need to... could you turn the fan off for mommy? Flour your table.
On or off?
Off. Flour your table. And top this over.
Guys.
Chop this over. Not yet, Maya. Hang on.
When is it?
Hang on. Be patient, darling.
Guys,
Okay.
look at my mom's.
It's, see this? It's sticky now. As tempted as you are to put lots of flour on it, Maya, not yet. Don't. Because your bread would then become a bit dense and dry. So, it's a long process. And I'm not going to like edit the video, I think. So just bear with me. It's going to be about 10-15 minutes of kneading.
And sometimes.
Or maybe hubby can help me stop the video because my hands are dirty, and then we'll come back and show you. Just keep kneading it.
I can.
Oh, thank you, Maya. Stop the video.
Do I press this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now, see, it's really sticky, and what we're doing is we're gonna pull it, push it back, pull it, push it back. pull it, push it back, and just keep repeating that process. If you have a scraper, great. Pull it, push it back. Maya, pull it, push it back. Okay, Maya, can you stop the video for me?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, this is halfway through, and I want to show you guys that it gets really messy, but don't you worry, you just keep kneading. Don't have a scraper? No problem. There's no correct way to knead, but technically what you're doing is push, pull, roll, push, pull, or think of someone that you really hate and mess the fella up. So you want to keep going at this for a while. I just wanted to show you, and my phone is already completely gone, but it gets like this. Don't be disheartened, keep going. This is about after 7 minutes of kneading. It's there, but not quite there yet. Just keep going at it. Every bread is a bit different when you make it, and I think that's why I fell in love with making bread, because really every loaf, every yield has its own kind of personality. And if you have one of those, you can add just a tad bit of flour once in a while. I was saying, if you have those KitchenAid mixer, please by all means use it. Use the hook. The hook will basically give you this as well. Now, slowly coming into shape, but still not yet. Just wanted to show y'all slowly, but probably needs another 5 to 10 minutes. Let's keep going at it. It's not easy. It's a bit of exercise here, but it's worth it. And I remember telling my son, who was starting to get interested in cooking, which is a good thing. To me, cooking and baking and all, it's more than just the actual product that comes out of it. Like, for example, I'm making this bread for my friend, right? And as the process goes, I think there's a lot of love, and you know, food is like, it brings people together, it feeds the soul. And sourdough is one of the oldest breads made in the world. Don't take my word for it, go Google that shit. Just keep adding a little flour, but not too much. I'm just literally sprinkling bits. Can you see it's getting there? Yeah. Now, to know whether it's done, pull it. If that happens, not done. So keep going at it. Okay, so there comes a point when it's still very sticky. And what I did was just regular sunflower oil or olive oil, whatever oil you want. Tap your hands with it. Okay, a bit on the bread. And suddenly, the form just changes. Now, traditional sourdough, they don't really put the oil, but there is nothing wrong with it. They put it at some parts to smoothen it out to get this texture. This is a mixture of like sourdough, artisan sourdough, if you will. So a little bit of oil, just like dribble in your hands, that much, yeah? And then the texture becomes different. See? What we want is elasticity that doesn't break. So it still breaks. Keep going. Okay guys, it's been about, I don't know, feels like forever for me. But the dough is coming together. And here's where we cheat. Most sourdough masterclasses, here's I'm wiping my sweat. Most sourdough masterclasses will tell you that you have to knead it till you pull it up and it doesn't break. Which is true. It's still breaking a bit, but after a few minutes of kneading, I'm just going to stop because what I've discovered is, while it does matter that you have to knead the dough at least until it looks like this, at least, minimum. While I've discovered it's important to do that, I've also discovered that if you so-called skip a process, not a process, or if you shortcut it a bit, the bread still comes out the same. And I like shortcuts because I like keeping things simple. My dough. So what we're going to do, in a clean bowl, just a little bit of oil. Why oil? It's just to stop the bread from sticking to the bottom of it. Got rice in here. I love this bowl. A friend of ours gave it to us, and I love it so much. You don't have to use a fancy bowl like this. Any bowl will do. Okay, pop that in, and you're going to cover it with a cling wrap. And normally, and you've just sprinkled some flour on top. Okay, so it has something to eat while it's going to double in size. Now, because I added a little bit of yeast, instant yeast, the time for it to rise will be shortened a bit. Otherwise, traditional, if you're using just the plain sourdough, plain starter, fresh starter, you will need to leave it for about 3 hours. We are going to leave this baby for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and come back to it.